What's up, Market America? If you don't know me yet, you're gonna get to know me.
I believe that. I believe that.
There will be a Team Fat Joe in Taiwan. There will be a Team Fat Joe in the UK. There will be a Team Fat Joe in Mexico and in Canada and right here in the USA.
Amen. Amen. You know, Joe, first of all, welcome to our team, man. Welcome to the team.
Wow. JR, thank you so much for that intro. You know you're my brother. I love you so much. I love the whole family, Mark. Everybody in the building tonight. Andrew Weissman mentoring me, Dana. You know, tell you a little story about where I come from. I come from the Bronx, New York. I grew up very humble. I grew up on welfare. I grew up in the projects. I had nothing, not too many role models, not too many people to believe in and look up to. And when I reflect back at my life, I feel amazed because I remember me as a 12-year-old kid sitting in front of my building, and there was no Instagram, no rap videos, no Twitter, and in the hood, in the urban neighborhood, you really can't get to see much to inspire you. But I remember sitting in front of my building, 12 years old, saying to myself, I'm gonna get rich or die trying. This ain't for me. I was determined to break the system and become successful.
You know, Joe, a lot of people know you around the world, but there's some that don't, you know, and you obviously, if you come from nothing, you had to struggle throughout your career and make things happen as a business person and as an artist, but how did you get started in the music industry? How'd that start?
Well, I grew up in the Bronx. I fell in love with hip-hop music. Weren't no real successful Latino rappers before me. And I had to do it the hard way. I don't know if a lot of you ever heard of the Apollo Theater, but the Apollo Theater is the type of place where they hold contests, and if you suck, they throw apples at you and they throw you off the stage. So you gotta have a set of balls to step on that stage, to be honest. PG, right? And so I remember going down to the Apollo Theater, and I walked into the green room that's backstage, and there were like 100 groups, 100 rappers. And I looked at all of them and I said, I don't even know what you're doing here. Like, I am the champion. Like, what are these people doing here? And this is what it takes to be successful like them. You have to be determined. You have to know you're a champion. Long story short, I came first place 4 weeks in a row, and now I'm an Apollo legend. Started my career from there. My first song I put out went #1 in America, and 20 years later, we just been keep consistently dropping hits and dropping hits and dropping hits. And every time one of my closest friends or my best friends would tell me, yo, Joe, it's over, you should retire, I give them another #1 song in America, and I won't stop, I'm relentless. I'm kind of like you, Jackie, I'm kind of like you and you and you. I won't stop. I'm relentless.
Amen. Amen. We know this. We know this. You know, it's been great to have you come to support our conferences. It's great to have you as a friend. We've known you for a number of years. But how did you originally connect with the Riding Girls? How did you guys meet? What was that story?
Well, you know, we met through a mutual friend, Irv Gotti and Ja Rule. These hip-hop legends, right? And I met the Riding Girls, and I just was like, I was so overwhelmed because although they're wealthy and they're successful, they were so humble and so down to earth, where I've been invited to hang out with wealthy people all my life, but when you get around them, it feels fake. It doesn't feel authentic. So I felt the passion and the love. I immediately fell in love with them, and 13 years later, you know, I remember coming to the events and just being one of the celebrity friends supporting, and I would be like, damn, this is big. They're like motivational or something. But I always wanted to truly learn the business, but was scared to approach JR and really ask him out of pride, right? But here we are. I remember, can I say a small story?
You can, sure.
I watched Amber grow up. I'm like her uncle, right? And like as I told you, I come from the Bronx for nothing. One of my major accomplishments was in life, I got my first Rolls Royce Phantom. This was like, oh wow, I have arrived. So I had it custom made, sky blue, white leather interior, mink rugs. So this was for sure one of a kind. One day I'm down the block in Miami and I'm waiting at the red light, and out of nowhere comes up a sky blue Rolls Royce Phantom, look identical to mine. The window came down and there was an 8-year-old girl. And she says, "What's up, Fat Joe? It's me, Amber. You like my car?" And I said, "Man, I gotta stay grinding. I gotta get some money and step my game up." Shit.
And that's when we came back. So it was about that time, you know, when Jer and I came back from London, you know, and we sat down, we really went through the business plan, showed you how an individual is compensated, showed you how the unfranchised business works. What did you feel after you kind of learned or saw that presentation?
Well, you gotta understand, I've been pretty successful doing this rap thing. I'm still pretty successful doing it independently, being an entrepreneur. Here I have a friend of mine who runs a $1 billion company who promised me, it says, "Joe, you follow the system, you're gonna make $100 million. I know you're gonna make $1 million or $2 million doing the rap thing, but you will learn to make $100 million. The guy never lied to me in my life. When I sat down with him and he showed me the plan for the first time, I was so intimidated that I said, "Oh my God, maybe I should just keep rapping." Here's a guy telling me, "You're gonna make $100 million, Joe," and I'm like, "Yo, maybe I should just go do a show or something." But like he said, I studied and I kept watching the tapes. I kept going to events. I wouldn't even mind my business. While I was away in the university, I would always hear about this guy named Carlos Marrero. He worked with Motives, and my wife would say, "Yo, this guy's amazing how he presents." So one day I heard he had an event in his house, and I come in the back, and it's like 30 women, and it's just Fat Joe. I'm sitting in the back, and he's like, "Yo, what is Fat Joe doing in my house?" And I said, "I heard you're one of the best. I want to learn from you." Right? So that's what this business is all about. Duplicating, learning the business, pushing it forward.
You know, Joe,
Also, I learned from you. So your kids might say, "Yo, Fat Joe's a big time rapper." But when I was away, I read up on Elizabeth Weber. I read up on Joanne Chi. I read up on Jackie. I read up on all of you guys, Dennis Frank, Jim Winkler. When I seen you for the first time, I said, "Yo, these are my idols in the business, baby. I'm gonna be like you guys." Kevin Buckman.
And Joe, you have done that. You know, you have done that. Obviously, a lot of times, you know, somebody first sees the plan, they're a little confused, they don't really know what to do, but they're real committed to making it happen for whatever their reasons are. And you have been a great student, but most importantly, you've learned by doing. That's something we've been talking about at this conference. You learn by practicing and actually making it happen. And I want you to see some of these images here. You know, Fat Joe is relentless in making it happen and getting into the homes like JR has taught. Person to person, showing the plant. You can see him. We do a lot of 2-on-1 meetings, little small group presentations. You know, one thing that we really did was get into the homes and work the commentator routine. You know, so you'd see the plan several times, but all of a sudden he started to pop up and started to present certain parts of the plan. You know, there he is holding an ice coring with his team down here in South Florida. Went back up to New York, you know, just after the convention, or after Christmas actually, showing the plan. This is a real estate office here in Miami. Here we are in Pembroke Pines showing the plan again. The commentator routine.
Like I said, Taiwan, get ready for me. Mexico, get ready. You know, every couple of years, let me say something I've been thinking about here. Every couple of years, I've been in the rap game for 20 years. My track record, my catalog is impeccable, but every couple of years comes a new rapper on the scene. that makes new music and makes hit records, and it motivates me to get back in there to make hit records. So I studied all you millionaire guys, and I hope I'm gonna bring you to fire, and I'll come hang out with you in Toledo, Ohio, but we're gonna take this Market America thing to the top. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna be the firecracker, JR. JR says all the time something that really bothers me. He says, you know, Market America is the best kept secret. No longer will it be the best kept secret. They will know Market America like they know Coca-Cola and Pepsi. I make sure of it.
Amen. Obviously, you get it, and you're making it happen. But tell us what really, first of all, tell us how you really feel.
Well,
tell us what really attracts you to the business.
I gotta be honest with you, I like to find the things in life. I'm addicted to living good, eating what I wanna eat, purchasing what I wanna purchase. And there's nothing like residual income to make me continue live like that till I'm 90 years old and give my kids the rest of that money on a will. So let me explain it to you. In hip hop music, I put out a record called Lean Back. It went #1 for 47 weeks in the United States, #1 in 42 countries. I might have made $5 million off this one song in my career. 2014, I get residual income on the song, but now I make 150, maybe 120,000 residual off of Lean Back. Now, had I made $5 million with Market America in '05, by now it'd be snowballing out of control, making $7, $8, $9 million to the rest of eternity. So I'm in it for the money. Some people tell me, and nobody take this offensive because we are one family, some people tell me, you see the Asian people, they don't even speak English too good like that. You see how they doing? I said, well, they speak money. They know money. They know money. Let's go. Let's go.
You know, something stuck with me that you said early on, after you saw the plan, we started doing some meetings together. You said you wanted to leave a legacy. You said you wanted for people sitting around their dinner table.
What happens is this. Obviously, Market America has been in business for 22 years. JR and Lauren, you obviously know, don't have a racist bone in their body. But for some reason, there's a barrier to where they couldn't really capture the Latino and the black community, right? And they don't curse as much as me. They can't really connect with them like that, right? So, I'm happy for everybody in here, but I want to let my legacy be, Fat Joe is super successful at this corporate Market America thing, but he brought so many people with him who make six-figure income. I want parents to cut the food in their house and tell their kids, thank God for Fat Joe teaching us the plan. Now we making residual income. I teach my team. Yes, we start out as Team Fat Joe, but we're Team Don Florio, we're Team Lena Augusta, we Team Cousin Paul, we're Team everybody on Team Fat Joe. We're gonna create their own team. And let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something that y'all may not know, because I am from the hood for real. When we get 15, 20 black and Spanish guys to stand up and say they're making $187,000 a year, this is gonna be the new Rubik's Cube, the new Cabbage Patch doll, the new Menudo, the new Justin Bieber. Where do I sign? Right here. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Tell us real quick, Joe. Tell us real quick, you become a prior to the product, you use the products religiously. I think you recognized, the billion-dollar industries are able to tap into with our brands, right? Tell us that quick little story. What happened when you were in the elevator the other day?
Well, what happens is, I'm Fat Joe. I don't know if you know, I don't wait on lines for nothing. It's a crowded restaurant, I skip right through. The club pays me to go there, right? So I'm in the elevator the other day, and there's this Indian lady, and she has a drink. She has a smoothie in her hand, and I'm in the elevator. And I say, oh my God, is that OPC? She says, I knew it was a smoothie anyway. She said, no, it's a smoothie. But what's OPC? They not listening. They not listening. Oh my God, OPC is only the best vitamins in the planet Earth. I take it every day. I lost 200 pounds, I'm on OPC. Used to have a pain in my ass, don't have it anymore. All in 1 minute. By the time she was leaving and the elevator got to the second floor, she walked out and grabbed the elevator door and said, where do I find OPC? Shop.com/Fat Joe. Go get your OPC right now.
All right, Joe. It was great to have you join us at our strategic plan. We do a week-long strategic planning session here in Miami, and our whole corporate team management group gets together. You sat there the entire time, Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, even going into the evenings. It was a great week. But that's when you told us about this invisible train. You heard JR mention it, but tell us what that's all about, Joe.
Well, it sounds foolish, but I honestly believe that in everybody's life, whether you're a baker, whether you're a barber, whether you're a school teacher, whether you're just a single parent mom, I believe everyone has an invisible train pull up to them at a point of their life. And where it started for me to believe like this is I was a member of a record label called Relativity Records in 1994. Just like I am with Market America, I was very team-spirited. We had other rappers. I was quote-unquote an underground successful rapper. Gold chain, the beautiful girlfriend that turned into my wife, little apartment, but no real money, no financial security, right? So one day, the owner of the label runs in the office and he says, you gotta see this new group I signed, you gotta see this video, you must. They're the new thing, right? So he takes out the VCR or the VHS tape and he puts it in. And sure, it was one of the greatest groups of all time. But as I'm looking at this video, it was the best video I ever saw. I said, how much did this video cost? He said, it cost me $1 million. I said, $1 million? I didn't know we had $1 million. We shoot my videos for $5,000. So immediately I realized it takes money to make money. If these guys ain't willing to invest in me, then I'm never gonna be a superstar. I'm never gonna be rich, right? So I look at all the other rappers that were there and I said, yo, come with me now. Let's go. We don't know what the future holds, but let's get out of here because they don't believe in us. You're never gonna be nobody like you wanna be. Yo, Joe, I got a gold chain. I got a hot chick. I got a nice car. So I wasn't certain of the future, but I walked out that record label and I jumped on the invisible train. Now, the invisible train seems risky. Nobody believes the invisible train is there. They don't believe you could be successful with it. But in less than a year, I became an owner of my own record label, sold millions of records, and signed other artists that became groundbreaking, selling platinum records, and so forth. So I'm telling you guys now, 20 years later, Market America is my new endeavor, It's time for all of you to jump on the invisible train to success. I love you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.